Well, hello. Excuse me. It's been a while. I have been just kind of trying to relax and recoup and get my energy back from my recent Tish experience. And if you missed me, you can thank Suzanne that I am back tonight. It's like going to the gym. I just have to fix my hair. It's like going to the gym. If you skip 1 or 2 days, it is so easy to just not go back for a while. And in my interest in taking care of myself and deciding to take a break from the videos, sometimes you feel like, oh, put it off another day. But life's not like that. So today when I was visiting with Tristan, Suzanne said to me, so are you doing a video today? And I said, no, I don't know, I don't think so. And then I said, yeah, I'm doing a video today. Because I do miss you. Gotta tell you, sometimes I see your names come up, like I just see you, Kristen. I'm so happy you're here with me today. And sometimes I don't see anything, I don't see comments, but every time that you give a comment, or I know you're here, I know you're watching, it just makes my day. It makes it like I am actually having a visit with you. And I know not everybody can watch, the video when I'm on, but I want you to know how much I appreciate you being there and how much I pray that the time that I'm taking of yours is you will find worthy of giving it to me. So, a couple of things. First of all, an update on Tish. If you haven't been following little notes I've been adding to my previous posts, she is better than she was. Thank you, God. And thank you for your prayers. You know what? You got to know prayers have value. You've got to know. We call it in Unity positive prayer. Okay? And at the same time, I do not deny that Tish has kidney disease, and it will eventually win. You got to die for some reason, or we'd all be here forever. Not that I want to see her go, because I don't. She has stopped staggering around, and on the wagon. No, what I'm thinking the staggering around is, and the incontinence are strokes. I think she's having mini strokes. I read up on it, and the kidney disease in cats and probably in people causes blood pressure issues, and as you know, blood pressure issues can lead to stroke. So I'm very, very grateful that I've been given some more time with her. She's still blind. It's kind of hard to watch her cope with her blindness, and also for me to learn how to work with someone who's blind. Yes, I said someone. She is my family member. She's my companion. I don't care if some people call her just a cat. She's more than a cat. But, you can't move anything around if you have someone in your family who is blind. They have to know what they can count on. And I've learned in a couple of incidences how important it is to be sure I don't move anything around. And, you may ask, like when we go through these things, where is our faith? Where is our faith in this? Yes, they are our family too. Absolutely family. I mean, Tish is my main companion for the past 8 years since Sammy got married and moved away and then passed away. And so she's my buddy, she's my friend, she's my family. So anyway, how do we deal with our faith at times like this? I knew a young man once, and at the time I was a lot younger and I didn't know how to answer the question. He was a friend of my ex-husband, and he was an atheist. And if you've heard this story, please bear with me. There are people who watch who haven't seen the story, heard the story. He had a very old dog. And I think for some reason the dog, the number 13 sticks in my head. And I don't know whether that means, I think it was he was 13, not the dog. But he had an old dog. The dog got very sick and was going to die. So he said he became an atheist when he prayed and prayed and prayed that the dog would live. And the dog died. And he decided right then and there is no God. You know, we can't decide because things did not go. We did not get the answer to the prayer that we wanted. We cannot think that means that there is no God. There is an ultimate God, which is all good, everywhere present, even in the midst of the things that we don't want to happen. It is not ours to know every detail of our lives and the lessons they may bring to us, which of course is a part of today's topic, which is called, This is a Test, It's Only a Test. So before we get into that, of course, we have to do the National Day calendar. Well, today is President's Day, which means we're celebrating all of our presidents, mostly all of our presidents. And tomorrow, for what it's worth, is what we've always celebrated as my father's birthday, February 22nd, which is also Washington's birthday. Now, a lot of people, and this is a message that I think is, I really want you to hear this today, okay? My grandparents came from Poland, Austria. You know, the countries change names from time to time, but I know one time it was Austria, then it was Poland, but my grandparents came from what they call the old country. They are American immigrants, and they were so happy to be here. And they were so happy to be here that when my father was born, according to his actual birth certificate, on February 23rd, for all of his life, they celebrated it on February 22nd because they wanted it to be Washington's birthday, because they loved their adopted country so much. I am reaching out to you from the depths of my heart and my soul. We live in a wonderful country. And if you have never traveled abroad, you haven't learned two things. First of all, number one, we live in a wonderful country and we are blessed to have freedom and democracy. Number two, we are not number one. Why? In God's eyes, we are all number one. We are all number one, being the best we can be, the best every day. And the one thing I beg you and I urge you to do is to remember that you are a part of a democracy of the people, by the people, and for the people. And because the by and the for, well, no, actually the important one things are of and by. For the people should be a given. That means that the whole business of the government is about taking care of each other, okay? And of means we're all a part of it. There's nobody that's not a part of it. And by means it is our job to be active participants. And that means that we educate ourselves. Interesting thing about educate. To educate, since we're talking about tests and all that stuff, to educate is to draw out what is already within. Think about it. Nobody actually has to tell you what's right and what's wrong. You already feel it, okay? Some of us express it. Some of us are afraid to express it. And some of us express a different truth or a different reality, which is the way they want it to be, not the way it is. Your job as a caretaker of our democracy is to be educated and activated. To be activated doesn't mean you're an activist, well, although we all should be activists at some level for what we stand up for, what we believe in. And I want to tell you something really important. You may think you know me, and I am very open. I'm not one of those people that's got all these secrets in my life. They're all out there, okay? I share them with you openly. Still, there are things you don't know about me. You don't know where I stand on certain issues. I speak out a lot about a lot of them, but not everything in the world comes up in our visits. So, as usual, I have driven us way off track. How does that happen? I call it the movement of the Holy Spirit moving me forward on whatever the heck we're doing here today. All right, so it is, for those who are interested, National Sticky Bun Day. Well, I gotta be real honest, I am not celebrating National Sticky Bun Day because lately a lot of things have been sticking to my buns. And this has got to stop. I'm so fortunate. I've been, very, very, shall I say, religious with my practice of jazzercise every morning that my sister and I get together. Sometimes we have a friend join us, or I do it right in front of the TV myself. So sticky buns are incredibly delicious. They are wonderful. But until I get to not what I call my skinny self, my whatever weight, to my healthy weight, okay? I want to be at a weight that coincides with my blood pressure and all, because we don't want to have any strokes, right? Or any kidney disease that's my poor Tishy's having. All right, so it's National Sticky Buns Day. They're delicious. If I could have a bite of one without having to go out and find one and buy it and figure out what I'm going to do with the rest, I would get one. But I'm not. But I just want to remind you in advance, tomorrow is George Washington's birthday. And George Washington was famous. George Washington and my dad. George Washington was famous for saying, "I cannot tell a lie." In all honesty, I have to tell you, I don't recall my father, who shared Washington's birthday by hook or by crook. I don't think he ever lied. He kind of did. Well, he didn't, but he did. One of the things we caught him at, little stinker, is if we would be driving down the street and he spotted, he's the driver of the car, so he's paying more attention. If he spotted a carnival on the side of the road, on this side of the road, he would say to us, "Oh, look at that cow over there. I don't think I ever saw a cow like that before," or a building or a store or something else, so that we were looking here and not at the carnival. That's what my dad did. Was it lying? I don't know. George Washington said, "I cannot tell a lie." About what? Chopping down a cherry tree. So what does that say to us about tomorrow? Are you there? Are you listening? What do you think is going to be tomorrow's kind of foodie day? Of course, it is cherries. Cherry tree, George Washington, cherry pie. I have the cherries waiting. I'm one person. I'm not going to make a pie. Tomorrow, if you tune in, you will see what I do decide to make with those cherries in the fridge. Gotta celebrate my dad / George Washington's birthday, don't I? It is also Grain-Free Day, and it's a day that they encourage people to eat grain-free meals. So it's kind of in an understanding of all the people that have grain allergies. That's a very hard thing to do, to have this grain-free day. I've done it. You can definitely live with it. It's, it can be done. But I do have friends that are like, they have gluten, they have to be gluten-free, they have to be wheat-free, they have to be whatever-free. So if you have to go out of your way to be good to a friend, to remember a friend that has a diet challenge, by sharing what you have. I have a dear friend, her name is Vicky, and she is past due to come over to my place for dinner one night. And it's funny because I think about it. That girl has more allergies than I have socks, And I just got a bunch of new socks, so I have socks. But when I'm having her over, I want to honor her and eat the way she can eat. And I do my best. I cannot be perfect all the time, but I do my best. So if you're eating grain, not eating grain today, think about the people who would really not feel well if they ate grain. It's amazing. So those are the National Day calendar days with a little bit of my personal input. And today we're talking about, this is a test. It's only a test. That brings to mind the word semantics. Semantics means making something about the words. What is it about the words, and understanding the words? And the words have great power. In fact, in unity, in the throat is what we call the power center. Why? Because it is through this center that our words are formed, okay? That we form these words, and that words are powerful in the shaping of our life. It's not the word itself, but the divine idea behind the word. In one of the scriptures, it says, in the beginning there was the word, and so the word, which is kind of the concept of the divine idea behind it. Now here's another important thing I'd like to point out today. It has nothing to do with what I thought I was going to talk about, but sometimes Spirit speaks so loudly in my head I have to listen to Spirit. But I am reminded that there was a time when I was not sure about what having confidence in my own beliefs. I came from a very, Christian Catholic background, and it did not always fit, but some of the parts fit. And eventually I found unity, and for me, that was a wonderful fit. Still, even as a unity minister, there were times when I could be thrown off by even another minister, unity minister, who saw things different than me. We do not all see things the same way. So those times when they're sorting us out by religion or by political party or anything else, you would be surprised. Some people think more, you think more like them, they think more like you than they think they do. But one day I came grounded in the fact that I had confidence in what I believed. I worked for it, I studied, I lived it. Now I am pretty grounded. Does that mean I would never change my mind? Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of the Unity movement, said, I reserve the right to change my mind according to my ever-evolving consciousness. So when you look at one thing and you say, yes, that's true for me, but at the same time, as we grow and learn, let's just talk for a minute. I don't want to get political here, but just a little quick one about guns. I am sick and tired of hearing about guns killing people, killing children, killing people inadvertently with guns. There's such a battle over it, but I think if we all got together and made a decision of what would make responsible gun ownership, it would be okay. And who has to be at the center of that? The people that love their guns. Instead of saying, you're trying to take our guns, you're trying to take our guns. Let's find a way to make it work together for everyone. Gotta get crazy when Spirit takes me off on a side trip. And I don't know how I got there, but let's go back. to semantics and words. And I said, this is a test. It's only a test. Do you realize every experience in your life is a test? But relax. It's only a test. It's an experiment. We tried something and then we say, did that work? Or as Dr. Phil would say, how's that working for you? You should have no shame in defeat. If you try something and it doesn't work, fine, try again. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be arrogant. Just say, oh, I'm going to try that one again. That one doesn't work very good. Now, there's some very important things I want to share with you, and my time is running out, and I'm trying to talk fast. There are things that we have to know about being able to be prepared for that test, okay? First of all, you need to understand, like it or not, you are in school. This school will never end until you reach your highest potential. Now, how long it takes you to reach that highest potential, that's up to you, okay? It's what you want to put into it. What did they say about computers when they first came out? Garbage in, garbage out. Put in junk, you're going to get junk out. School is never out for the spiritually aware person, okay? Life is very much like school. You get up in the morning. I don't know how happy you were to go to school. I was not necessarily thrilled to go to school. I loved school. You have to understand, it was getting up and getting out the door part that was the hard part. Just like jazzercise. I love jazzercise, but getting up and getting out the door, that's the hard part. But that's life. And you have to either be ready to get up there and go out and learn, or you're not going to get to where you want to be for a long time. Now, I would say never, except that's not God's plan. God's plan is that you will get there. How long it takes you to get there is up to you. So first of all, we have to realize that we are in school. And we are here to learn. So we get up, we get dressed, and we get ready. Now you need something in order to be ready to learn. You could not go to school and put your head down on your desk and sleep all day and learn everything. Well, Edgar Cayce did, but we're not Edgar Cayce. We have to be conscious, which means awake and aware. A lot of times, we like to soothe ourselves with things that take us away from the need to learn. That is daydreaming. It's wishful thinking. We call that wishcraft, that we are wanting to see things a different way. A lot of people were all hyped up about the movie The Secret when it came out. In the beginning, I showed it to my congregations because I was trying to build a congregation. I wanted to give them what they wanted to hear. I made a mistake. When you do that, when you don't tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, you are doing them a disservice. And like I say, if I'm taking your time, I want to make sure that I am giving you something of worth with that time. So when you go to school, you've got to be awake. You've got to be ready for your classes. Do you have good study habits? Now, in order to have good study habits, you have to remember that you have to look at the lesson, see what it has to offer for you. Now, there's an old saying that if you fall off a horse, you gotta be, willing to get back on. If you fall off a horse, you better get right back on and ride again, or you never will. That is poppycock, okay? If you fall off a horse, think about how you fell off, why you fell off, heal your body, and then get back up on the horse. So yeah, on the big picture, if you fall off a horse, get back on, But if you don't learn your lesson before you get back on that horse, you're going to make the same mistakes and have the same problems. There is no shame to making a mistake. The only shame is in stopping trying. In school, you get homework. Homework means you have things you take home to ponder, to think about. How are you doing? Why did that happen? What is the lesson this is teaching me? I had a very funny example of it. The other day I was getting ready to take a shower. And as I typically do before I take a shower, I get on a scale. I don't think anybody should be a slave to the scale, but I like to kind of keep in touch, And it was not where I wanted to be. In fact, it was 4 pounds away from the most I have ever weighed. And I was like, oh. And it's a matter of health, and it's a matter of the way I want to look. Not that I would do anything artificial to look the way I want to look. I am in control of staying healthy and looking the right way. So we got a saying in Unity that every time we declare something for ourselves, all that is unlike it comes up for healing. So I have this experience, get on the scale, holy crap, it's not what I wanted. Take my shower, go over to my sister's to have our weekly Mahjong game. Mahjong, great game for keeping your brain active. Went over there, but of course we have snacks because there's always snacks. And then one of our members of our little Mahjong party flippin' brought pizza. It's like, ah! But I only had a little piece. You shouldn't have to deny yourself everything in life. You just go a little easy on yourself, You have to be conscious. And you don't throw everything out just because you made a mistake. You throw everything out, you start again. Every morning we wake up and life is new again. Every night when we go to sleep, all that was is gone. We wake up to a new world of all that can be. What about classroom behavior? Do you remember how you behaved in class? I was not the best. I was good for a great time until I got into 7th grade and discovered boys. 7th grade wasn't too bad. By 9th grade, I was pretty well shot. I would spend my time daydreaming about Greg over there in the corner, or he wrote in my, I wonder if he's still on the planet. He wrote in my yearbook when I was a kid, a girl who really fits into your arms. Yeah, I used to think about him a lot. But once I discovered boys, my priorities shifted, unfortunately. It was personal and it was cultural. Because in our culture, that was what you were going to do when you grew up. You get married, you have kids, and you live happily ever after. Ha ha. And, a lot of people think that the movie Grease is about those days. It was about, in the 50s and 60s, and that's not true. What was the name of that movie? Shoot, it escaped me. I'll try to tell you another day, but there is a movie that was so much like what it was like in my day when I was there, all about how, your biggest goal in life was to get married. Unfortunately, I started to focus on that and not all the dreams and desires that were in my heart. It's okay. I found them later in life. I'm doing good. Going to accomplish them. God has blessed me. So in school, you got to pay attention. In your life, you got to pay attention. If things are screwing up in your life, You gotta look and say, why? Why is this happening to me again? Why is it happening? You know, when you learn that, that's like doing those ciphers, doing the square roots, doing the, you know, that's what you have to learn so that you have the power not to let it happen again. I am officially going over time. Anyone that stays with me, God bless you. I love you. Thank you. You cannot copy off someone else's paper. Your lessons to learn are your lessons to learn. They're not anybody else's lessons to learn. Focus on your assignments. Focus on your own paper, because for all the people that cheat, for all the people that lie on their resumes, it's a lie. And as my dad always said, cheating proves. You're going to wind up with a job you really can't handle. You're going to wind up with, you know, all kinds of problems. Here's another question. Who are your teachers? Do you know who your teachers are? Chances are one of your most valuable teachers is the person who tap dances on your very last nerve. It's the people you don't like. It's the people you don't want to be around. You know, my daughter had a little thing with a new person that came into work one day. And she's, oh, I'm having a hard time. I'm just having a hard time working with him. And so I just said, just be there. Go through the day. Your job is to get through the day. So I talked to her the other day and she said, so I've got this special training experience that I'm going to have. Guess who was in charge of it? The person who tap dances on her last nerve. That's okay. It's her teacher. Who's your teacher? Fellow employee, relative, boss? And what are they trying to teach you? Are they trying to teach you to stand up for yourself? Are they trying to teach you patience? Are they trying to teach you humility? What are they trying to teach? That's the key. Your teachers are everywhere. Teachers are also the people who inspire you. The people you say, wow, I want to be like them. There's all kinds of teachers. Don't let any one of them be overlooked. And the last one is, I want you to remember that tests are not punishment. It is not a trap. It is not a teacher trying to make you less than. Our tests are just like a way of measuring. Look at a test as a measuring stick, not a switch. So think about where you want to go in life, what your challenges are, and what you can learn from this person. And I probably told you this before, and I probably didn't, but I've been talking about it a lot, and I'll probably keep talking about it. I've been watching the TV series on Netflix called Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai comes from the Karate Kid. They have the same lead actors grown up. And after all these years, they're still working on their stuff. Their interpersonal stuff, which we all have. So you might want to consider that a little bit of homework. Give it a look. It's a little fresh, but seems everything is today. Thank you, Suzanne, for encouraging me to do my video today. And thank you, everybody that watches probably anytime into the future, because it's going to be in cyberspace now. You have a bright, beautiful, better than average day. God bless you. And it looks like Cheryl, who just popped in, is going to have to go back to the beginning and start over. She's tardy for class. God bless you, my friends. Take care.